In this video, we're diving deep into the emotional wounds that so many highly sensitive people carry from childhood. Peter here, I'm an award-winning self-image coach, and for over 20 years I've seen just how crippling these wounds can be, often leading to anxiety, depression and a deep sense of disconnection. But what if I told you that the true freedom from these wounds is not only possible, but it can come sooner than you think? Today I'll be sharing insights inspired by the incredible work of Dr. Gabor Mate, who has shed light on the deep impact childhood trauma has on our emotional and physical health. And before I even became aware of this powerful work, I had already developed my own 5-step process, the Dream Method, that heals everything Dr. Mate speaks about. As a highly sensitive person myself, I understand the weight of carrying unresolved wounds from the childhood. I created the Dream Method after years of personal struggle, looking for emotional freedom and peace. What I didn't realise then was that the tools I had developed were so closely aligned with Dr. Mate's understanding of trauma. His work has validated what I had felt deeply, that emotional wounds from the past continue to control our present until we actively heal them. My story is full of trauma, and this started when my father became disabled at 10 from an accident, and he never really recovered. My mother died of cancer at 11. I was sent to a boarding school where paedophiles were operating, and my family didn't believe me because they thought I was too sensitive. And finally my father died when I was 19, and I was thrown into the world as a traumatized, emotional, exhausted being. Now let's look at something a bit more positive, at Dr. Gabor Mate's groundbreaking work. Dr. Mate believes that unresolved trauma can manifest as anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. I did suffer from all three of those. He explains that the brain's coping mechanisms developed in childhood can trap us in a pattern of emotional pain and disconnection, especially for those of us who are highly sensitive. And this can lead to emotional numbness. When you realise the brain is an energy-intensive organ, we need to protect that energy and we become numb to life. We are basically preserving energy to protect us, and we create all these habits that are protection mechanisms that are literally negative to us living freely. And worse still, shutting down the empathy and compassion we have in abundance inside. And I know that as a highly sensitive human being. Now let's look at the Dream Method and emotional freedom. Before I discovered Dr. Mate, I had created the Dream Method, a 5-step process to help highly sensitive people like you break free from these emotional chains. My method focuses on 1. Discovering the source of your wounds. Secondly, realising the patterns that keep you stuck. Thirdly, embracing your sensitivity as a superpower, because it is. Fourthly, actualising your potential without the baggage of the past. That is so important. And lastly, mastering your newfound emotional freedom. You have to keep doing what you do successfully to keep growing, because your consciousness is here to grow. And now let's look at why healing cannot come soon enough. Dr. Mate emphasises that unresolved trauma holds us back and that healing never comes too soon. I see this all the time in my clients. Once they break free from the emotional grip of their past, they experience an overwhelming sense of relief, peace and freedom, as though a weight has finally been lifted. And I know that feeling too as well. Many talk about starting to feel again from the heart after what feels like an eternity of numbness. Some talk about seeing more deeply into life and what they can offer to the world. And some even say their relationships improve tenfold because their empathy is working properly as it should. And all of this is to do with their self-image and the mental picture they have about themselves. What about you? Does any of this resonate with you? Are you ready to break out of these emotional chains that hold you back and embrace the true you? I know I yearn for freedom every day. Do you? If you do, click the link below if you're ready to step into your emotional freedom and transform your self-image in just 12 weeks. The Dream Method has already helped so many highly sensitive people move beyond their wounds, soothing anxiety and even depression. But first, you need to watch the free webinar to see if this resonates with you. Because I don't work with everyone who applies, because I want to guarantee results for you. So if you're ready, click the link below. I look forward to connecting with you very soon. Till then, be well and keep shining.